Hi, today I'm going to show you the key to passing every prop firm challenge so you can get funded, scale to $400,000 and even up to 1 million in equity and start making consistent profits week after week. To put yourself into perspective, if you can make just 20% on a $400,000 account in a single month, that's $80,000 in profit. And if we're a little bit more conservative, let's say that you just make 10%, you will be making $40,000. That's why ignoring prop firms, especially if you're a skilled trader that you know what you're doing, is a massive mistake that I see a lot of people do and that I did myself. Obviously, your goal should always be to grow your personal capital. And I firmly believe that prop firms are the fastest way to help you scale your personal account with the profits that you're making every week and month to 200K, 500K and beyond. But there's an important thing that we must keep in mind, and that is that according to the real data on the industry, only 5 to 10% of traders pass the challenge. And from those that pass it, only 1 to 7% ever get a payout, which means that over 90% of traders fail. And an average person spends around $6,000 before they either get funded or they give up, they quit. They say, oh, trading is a scam, this is not for me, and they go into a different industry. I've passed a lot of prop firm challenges myself, and in this video, I'll reveal to you the real reason traders fail and the one thing that will change everything for you and make you pass any challenge and get consistent payouts every week and every month. I'm Moises, Altayo, and I've made over $1 million trading at 24. I started this channel to share the real truth about how the markets really work and to show you how to trade the right way to build long-term wealth. I also have the best mentorship in the industry. If you would like to apply, you'll find the link on the description below. And now let's begin with this incredibly valuable video. In order to become consistently profitable, a successful trader, you need to master 3 things that we mentioned on the last video that I did. The first one is your psychology, not just in the charts, but also outside. This means mastering your emotions, your beliefs, your fear, greed, discipline, your routine. And most importantly, how do you handle losses, among many other things. Secondly is your risk management, which is way more important than the strategy itself. You could have a mediocre strategy, but if your risk management is great, you'll always make money. And thirdly is your strategy, the system that you use to read and understand and profit from these markets. In this video, we'll assume that you already have a solid strategy. And if you don't, and you're serious and you can afford it, the best way you can get all that is by joining my mentorship. If not, you can always take advantage of my free content here on YouTube. But when you master these 3 pillars, the results are just crazy. They speak for themselves. Like, for example, this same week, you can see here the 8th of July, Devarsh made $14,000 and Dylan took the same trade that made $5,000. This all was in about 1 hour. I also made 10K in a similar trade I took on GBP, which I will do a trade review this next week. But it's just to show you that with the right knowledge, changing your life and the ones of those you love is more than possible. There's so much wealth in this world for everyone, but people never realize it, right? Making $14,000 in 1 hour. Like, if you told me that when I was a kid, I will never believe it, but it's more than possible. There's people making millions every day. what is the thing they have that we don't? It's information, it's the knowledge. Now, in order to truly understand the key to passing any prop firm challenge, I want to show you two parallel stories that we'll do now. And both are fictional, but based on real scenarios I've seen over and over again from my students, from my own experience, and from the top traders I know. You can see I've put their faces. These are two of my best friends. It's Roman on the top, and below it's Emily. And we will assume that both traders have a solid strategy. Let's say they have my strategy. They understand market structure, entries, invalidation, targets, everything about it. They know how to trade. But what separates them is not the skill. It's the decisions that they make under pressure. It's their mindset, their psychology. Because when your account is at $215,000, you trade very differently than when it's at $185,000. Unless your psychology is great, is bulletproof. That is what we're going to realize now and understand with this story. So both Roman and Emily, they will start with a $200,000 account with the same balance. And the lines that separates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this will be each a trading day. We'll do 8 trading days. And we'll see what's their evolution based on the trades that they're taking and their decisions. So Roman starts the first day and he takes a great trade, which is the best way to start an account. He starts and he's up $6,000, so his balance goes from $200K to $206,000. While Emily, she loses her first trade. Okay, she's a one loss, it's fine. She's at 198. Then the second day, Roman, since he made 6K yesterday, he's chilling. He is in no rush. He's waiting for high probability trades. So he's not forcing anything. On the other hand, Emily, since she lost yesterday, she says, okay, I need to make my money back. I need to make it. So she takes a trade that is not very high probability and she loses again. And now her account balance is at minus 2% at 196. Then we go to the third day. And Roman takes a loss. He lost a little bit more than he expected because we had volatility during the news. So he lost 3,000. But he's still up. His account is still at 203. So he's not too worried. Well, Emily, again during the news, she also loses another trade. Now her account balance is at $194,000. And you can see that we already are in a pretty interesting scenario with both of them. Because Roman, the first trade he took, he focused on a very high probability trade and he's up and he's feeling more calm. While Emily, she just lost 3 trades in a row. She just bought the account, and 3 days after, she's below at 194K. So she's starting to feel some emotions, She's starting to feel, well, I need to make it back. I cannot keep losing. I need a winner. So then the fourth day, she forces another trade when there wasn't really anything interesting. It was just choppy ranging, while Roman was just waiting patiently for a high quality. So now she's at 192, Emily. The fifth day, finally, Emily gets a $6,000 trade and she's at $198,000. Roman also made profit. He took a $7,000 trade and now his balance is at 210, which is amazing. He has $10,000 more to go and he's gonna pass the account. On the 6th day, something very interesting happens, which is a classic for any trader. They both enter the same position with the same risk, $2,000. Let's say they take a long in gold. And they're in profit by $3,000. Emily as well, her balance gets into 201 since she's up $3,000. But they do not close the trade. They decide to hold it because they have higher targets. And then New York comes and it reverses the whole move that London did. And they got stopped in the trade. Now, after this stop loss, Broman recognizes that there's nothing else to do. New York starts chopping and it does nothing. And he decides to stop trading. He just closes the computer and he goes to the gym. He goes for a walk. He starts reading a book. He goes to the cinema with his girlfriend. However, Emily, she's a little bit emotional because she just went from 192K to 198 and she was up $3,000. So her balance was at 201 and now she just lost and her balance is back at 196. So she decides to force another trade because she's down and she wants to be back at 200K so bad. She had it so close. So she enters a trade that is not the best and she loses again. Now she has lost $4,000 and her balance is at 194. Due to all the emotions, she starts acting emotionally, not thinking logically, and takes the revenge trade to try to make all the money back that she just lost. So she takes a high risk trade with a big position size, and she takes another L. So she ends up losing $8,000 in a day when she was up to 201K. Her balance goes back to 190. Obviously, after this loss, she just says, okay, I need to stop this. I'm going to blow the account. I need to control myself. So she just says, okay, tomorrow is going to be another great day. I'm going to look for a good trade and I'm going to make money. And we're on day 7 now. Emily, not feeling very well, but she finds a good trade. She enters. However, she decides to put a stop loss very close. Even if she's risking 1%, she's not putting the stop loss at the real invalidation of the plan because she wants a bigger position size in order to get quicker to 200K. Because she's thinking, okay, my account balance is at 190K. Not only I need to make 10K to be back at 200K, but on top of that, I need to make $20,000 just to pass the first phase. And then another 10K, so I almost have to do $50,000. So she's in a rush, she wants to go quick. So she takes a big position with a tight stop loss. On the other hand, Roman takes the same exact trade, but he puts the invalidation at the real invalidation of the trade. And even if price goes a little bit down, he's chilling. He has no fear, he's calm. He has no rush. He's trading patiently, focusing on quality. He doesn't care if he loses because his account is at 210K, so it's irrelevant if he loses, He will make it back. He knows that if he focuses on quality, he will always win. It's mathematically impossible to lose. Even if he just lost 4 trades in a row, he will still be up. And price, it gets to a little bit of drawdown, and it goes up, and he makes $4,000, and Emily gets stopped because she put a shitty stop loss at a random low, and now her account balance is at 188. Since Emily lost again yesterday, she said, okay, now I'm just going to risk $500 to $1,000. I want to keep my stop loss very tight, but still have a big position so I can make large profits. So she enters, risking 0.5, that is $1,000 of the 200K account. And price starts to go against her. She enters, she's a little bit in profit, and price starts to reverse. So she decides to close it for a $500 loss. And then as soon as she closes, price reverses. A classic, you close and price reverses to where she wanted. So she said, okay, this is gonna go. It's gonna go now. So she enters another position, and she's up $2,000, and she decides to put her stop loss at entry. Even if it doesn't make sense, she just does it to protect her capital because she's afraid to lose. And then price does a deep retracement, stops her at break even, and now she's too afraid to enter again because she lost 500, she was up 2,000, and now she just goes stop at break even. And just after getting stopped, price starts to expand again to her target. And obviously she starts to feel FOMO, the fear of missing out. Emotions are running deep. But she decides to stay calm and wait for another opportunity to enter. After 2 hours, price has expanded to the upside. And it's very close to her target, but there's still some room. So she's very confident that we will get to it. So she says, okay, this is going for sure. So I'm going to enter. I'm going to risk $2,500 with a big position. And I'm going to make profit and finally get out of this drawdown. However, as soon as she enters, price is opening a new 4-hour candle. And we have a 4-hour candle range. And we do an open, low, high, and close. And she gets stopped again. Now her account balance is at $185,000. It seems like the market makers are spying on her. They're going against her. They're trying to fuck her at all times. But, while Emily was going through all this suffering for her life, being attached to the screen to all these trades, Roman was smoking a cigar while he was taking a shit on the bathroom. And he was on the same exact trade. He did the exact same things. In fact, at one point in time, he was in drawdown. He was losing $1,700. And his stop loss was at $2,200. But he stayed chill, His account is good. He's up with great profits at $212K. And he was very relaxed and calm. The plan was still valid. He felt no hesitation or fear of losing because he knows that a loss is part of business of being a trader. If you want to make money, you must take risk, always asymmetric, always with logic, and always being objective, not letting his emotions rule him. He's also not afraid of seeing red numbers and being in drawdown. Not only because his account is up, but also because he knows that if he loses, he will be able to find another opportunity and that there is no rush. The market is always giving you opportunities if you have the eyes to see it. He will wait patiently for the market to bring it to him. He will wait for the trade to scream at him and tell him, take me, I'm here. The trade will reveal itself to him. And doing that, he will eventually win and pass every challenge that he takes and get consistent payouts every 2 weeks. He will be a profitable trader. The only difference between Roman and Emily is the way that they're entering their trades and managing them, not due to their strategy or technicals, but due to their emotions involved and the balance and the fear and the greed of their account. So Moises, are you saying then that we cannot be in drawdown, that we cannot lose trades? No, that is absolutely incorrect. We all lose. I lose trades, my best students lose trades, and we can all be in drawdown. It's not like all my entries are with 0 drawdown, even if I'm super precise, because I like to always wait for the right confirmations. If you want to learn about that, I really recommend you to watch my last YouTube video, which is so valuable, really. It's the one that is 41 minutes. The difference is the way that you act, even if you are losing trade after trade. The key is to trade the same way when your account balance is at 215K, like Roman, than when your account is at $185,000, just like Emily. You can do subtle changes to be more safe, like when you're in drawdown, you can be risking only 0.5 instead of 1%. And when you're in deep profits, you can be taking more risk and risking 1%, even 2% if you are taking a very high probability trade. But there are many details into this. The reason why you'll be risking less when you're in drawdown is to be safer and focusing on high quality while growing slowly out of it. But I can do a separate video related to more risk management because, for example, you could enter a position, a small position, and wait for a confirmation and then add into that position with a different risk and combine have a 1% risk. And all these are things that they help you a lot with your risk management and to get great trades with great size and risking the least amount of money. So my question to you right now is, what will Emily have to do in order to get out of drawdown, in order to get back to 200K and reach her objectives? Think about it. What will she have to do? And the answer is simple to understand, but it's complicated to apply when you're in her situation. I can say it now and it will sound very fancy, but once you're at 185, it doesn't seem that cool, I'll tell you that. I've been in that situation. The answer is she will have to trade the exact same way that Roman is trading. And that is the key to success. She will have to be calm, focusing on high quality, having her stop loss at the real invalidation. All the things that you will do once you're feeling more confident, once you're in deep profits, the same way you should be trading when you're in drawdown. And that is certain that you will get out of it. Knowing this then, we can confidently say that the first 5 trades that you will ever take with any new challenge that you buy, it will be the most important trades that you take with that account, which will determine whether you pass it or not. Because if you begin and you start like Emily, and you go into early drawdown and you start losing trades, your psychology and emotions starts to get shaken. And then you get into a spiral of repeated mistakes that lead you to failure. And that's the reason why most traders fail. I wholeheartedly believe it. Is they trade differently when they're in drawdown, when they're losing, when they're in a losing streak, than when they're in profit. And when they're in profit, everything seems to go great. So why you cannot apply the same mindset, the same habits, the same way you see the charts when you're winning as when you're losing? Therefore, if I can give you my greatest advice in order to pass always profit challenges, not just what I just mentioned of the mindset with the whole story and this conclusion that we reach, but it will be that focus on the highest quality and highest probability, especially the first 5 trades that you take, and risk 0.5% in those trades. Your only goal when you start is to get into profit, to get to 202, 205, 207. So you can trade calm, detached from the outcome, and confident. And once you do that, you will no longer be attached to the outcome. You'll stop chasing losses, and you'll start trading like a professional. Do this, and you'll pass every challenge you take. I really hope that you find this video valuable. To me, this is a very valuable lesson that is personal, based on experience, based on the best traders I know, based on my close friends, my students. And if you truly understand and master what I just showed you, combined with a great strategy, great risk management, but this little key of psychology, I genuinely believe that you'll become profitable. Because this is the hidden reason most traders fail and only very few succeed. And I've never seen anyone talk about this. And I wanted to share it with you. So I really hope you like it and that you can apply it. And remember that you can apply as well for my mentorship. If you resonate with my concepts, with the way I trade, with my values and beliefs, you'll find the link on the description below. And my goal with this mentorship is not just to change your life and make you a successful, profitable trader, to make you a master, but I'm also building an amazing network of great, very successful traders who are killing it, making thousands every week. We're also planning trips together, and I'm so excited about it. I'm meeting incredible friends in the mentorship. It's just so cool. So I highly recommend you to watch the video on my website where I explain it all in detail, as well as my personal story, everything you need to know. And then book a call and I'll get to know you personally. And if I see that you're a high quality individual, I'll allow you inside and I'll help you to get truly wealthy trading, which is what I love. It's what I've been doing. And that's why I do these videos, to share my passion, to share my love for the game, and to hopefully help you become a better trader. I'll see you guys very soon. Take good care and God bless you. Bye bye.